Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a Boeing 737 pilot and a member of PMDG's tech team. Great news for all those 73 flyers out there. PMDG has just in time for the weekend pushed a new update for the Boeing 737-600, 700 and 800 series, which I'm going to cover in this video. So there are two major new changes added and a couple of bug fixes in this one as well. So, the update itself can be found on PMDG's forum, and I'm going to include a link to it so that you guys can read up on it completely in the video description below. This is pretty much what it says, but let me sum it up for those of you who are, let's say, not interested in reading. So, important updates in this one include a major change to the ground handling logic in the Boeing 737, as PMDG have reverted from their own steering system back to the Microsoft Flight Simulator steering, which Asobo has greatly improved during the last summer. Now, Robert goes on to admit that while the system is still not perfect, they do think this iteration is significantly better than the previous version, and they continue to push on the communications channels to seek further improvements so that they can bring a truly realistic Boeing steering experience to the airplane. The other great change is the one that you have probably spotted looking at the video already, which is the multi-mode receiver. The multi-mode receiver is a device used to tune the nav radios in the Boeing 737 aircraft, and we can see it over here that we can switch between the VOR, ILS and GLS frequencies. Do note that GLS is not included yet, and I'm going to do a more detailed video on the multimode receiver at a point in the very near future. Other changes that have been brought to the airplane are primarily bug fixes, so let's quickly go over those as well. There are some changes to black textures in the virtual cockpit. The captain's footrest has been adjusted. There used to be some texture clipping on the nav2 panel that's been resolved, and COM2 used to have some strange textures as well, which are now solved as well. The previous page button on the first officer's control display unit, that one over here, has previously not been animated, which has been fixed now. There are a couple of changes to the right air outlet. There was some light bleeding through the front of the cabin walls, which has been fixed, and a hole in the front of the cabin has been fixed as well. Furthermore, there is a change to the FMS performance page, which includes consistent use of custom payload zero fuel weight value. And there used to be an issue where the stairs did arrive at the 1L door, that is the front left, which arrived even if Jetway Inhibit would have been active. Finally, there's also a change in that some of the EFIS map options were still grayed out in the PMDG options, and there is a texture alignment between two different parts of the fuselage texture. On top of that, a black texture on top of the glare shield has been fixed, and some issues on switches with the PMDG mouse option. Robert goes ahead to say that the PMDG 737-900 is effectively finished with testing, and they are working on cleaning up a few last-minute details for an impending release. There's also an update posted on the PMDG Universal Flight tablet, which I quickly want to go over, and Robert goes on to say that he is still working to refine the communication methods between the airplane, which is in C++ and WASM, and the tablet itself, which is in JavaScript, which has been a much larger and more difficult task than imagined due to restrictions placed on C++ and WASM projects' freedom to use common communication protocols at the platform level, so at Microsoft Flight Simulator itself. Furthermore, PMDG have discovered through trial and error that the secure communication channel allowed has a bad habit of turning itself off, and they are waiting for some inputs from Asobo to see if there is something that PMDG is doing wrong, or if the underlying technology of Microsoft Flight Simulator itself needs a bit of tweaking on the platform side. All in all, Robert closes to say that there has been a little bit of creativity involved in some of that communication and language parsing construct to parse text and data across a restricted communication stream which is only capable of taking numeric data. Not a fun way to spend time, but they are into functionality testing on parts of it, and if the current process works, it should finally unlock forward progress on the features that need tablet to airplane communication. This surely hasn't been a fun process by any stretch, but it is what it is, and Robert unfortunately only has to invent the wheel for the first time there. Also, PMDG have their fingers on pushing a new update for the DC6, which however is waiting for a specific update at platform level. So basically said, as soon as the next update for Microsoft Flight Simulator is out, PMDG is also going to push an update for the DC6, which is going to keep the airplane in synchronization with the improvements of the platform. Now, while it is not 100% clear exactly what he means, I bet to say that this is fairly surely related to the aircraft and avionics update that's supposed to push in the next couple of days, so good to see that PMDG is on the job there as well. And he goes on to close that, in case anybody wonders, he has intentionally not mentioned anything of the 777 in this particular round of updates. That was not accidental, and they are hard at work on the back in the house of the 777, but at the front they are still focused on the 737 and the DC6. So that is the update that we have seen on the 26th of January. The update is available for download through the PMDG Operations Center. So if you are looking to download that update, you go to Aircraft and Liveries and then Product Updates, and then down here you will be shown the updates that you need. Be sure to run the Operations Center as administrator so that you can be sure that the updates can indeed be downloaded and installed, and that's pretty much all you need to do in order to get your airplane updated. Now, I'm going to cover the multi-mode receiver in a separate video because there is a little bit more to say than the very quick summary that I did in this video. You can be sure that's going to be up in the next couple of days. Until then, I would like to thank you very much for watching. Hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to see you all again, hopefully very soon on the next one. If you want to support the channel, then please like, comment and subscribe. And finally, if you really love what I'm doing, then I would appreciate if you either become a channel member or if you decide to do a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link that you can find in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again very soon.